Welcome to the Rockpit, Dallas Frasca. Thanks for taking time out of your day to chat with us regarding the Plays Led Zeppelin shows or tour that kicks off October 2nd in Queensland and then travels all the way down the East Coast and ends up in Melbourne at Mimo Music Hall on October 18. What a concept, what an idea, what a show.
Yeah, it's an ambitious project, I'll be honest. But it is, I mean, it's something that I've wanted to do for many, many years, and I guess opening the master's book, the master songbook, can just be a really great opportunity to, um, you know, deconstruct songs that the world knows and loves and understand them more and upskill your playing and to be perfectly honest, be really humbled when you when you're trying to put these things together. But I guess the biggest thing, I haven't seen a lot of people do it solo before. Often there's a lot of other people um that really do take to put these songs together. We understand Bonham and John Paul Jones and the contributions of Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, but for doing them by yourself, I've definitely burnt a lot of new neural pathways being able to try and sing in the pocket where Robert Plant sings around. I mean, it's unbelievable. It really is a miracle that these four people came together at one point in time on the planet Earth to create these masterpieces. And they were in their early 20s. It's mind blowing.
They certainly are one of those bands, and I think they're one of the bands for me that I go back to when I feel as though um, perhaps music might be getting a little bit stale, or new music might be getting a little bit stale, because I find something new each and every time I listen to a Zeppelin record, whether it be Physical Graffiti or Zeppelin One. You know,
Mm.
it's it. There's so, as you say, it's such a unique collision of talents that created Led Zeppelin.
It really is. And I mean, it to understand like how you write like that. And Jimmy Page is playing like he had so many years of experience, in the studio arranging and recording, as did John Paul Jones. And they brought so much wealth of knowledge already and experience to the table when, like you said, this collision of talent happened. And, it gives you a little bit of insight into all of that. But, I guess the thing for me, when you really dig in deep with these things, you are looking into lots of new boxes where of technique. How did Robert Plant sing like that? He was a really big, is it Steve Marriott fan?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Steve Marriott. Like, you think he credits him as a really big influence. And as with No Quarter, it's one of my favorite Page and Plant things that they did, that No Quarter record. I just love it. Might be pulling a few of those guys out for this show as well. But they were big fans of, well, Robert Plant was a really big fan of Kulthum, this Egyptian singer. Just She's top tier. She's, one of the greatest to ever live. Her vocal ability is like far beyond most people will ever even begin to imagine. But yeah, it's been beautiful. It's been, like you said, it's been diving in and lots of discovery and lots of humbling moments. And doing anything as ambitious as this is takes hard work and focus and discipline, and I've been rehearsing every fucking day for this one. There's no escaping the work you need to do.
No, and again, you posted on socials earlier this week that deep diving into the Zeppelin catalog has changed the way you play forever.
100%.
What a bold statement that is, and how has that changed the way that you play?
I mean, I guess the last few years, look, my big secret, Andrew, is my fantasy is always to have been a guitarist. I think singing came quite naturally to me as a young musician, but my fantasy, my big dream was always to play guitar. And I guess it's taken confidence to step into that space and a lot of hard work. And I think something like this really just gives you a goal to, you've made the statement and you're going to go out and you're going to do it. Like I've said, I'm going to do it. So for me, I mean, like even Black Dog, the way there was quite a while I was playing it and I was like, man, it just doesn't quite sound the same. And it can be the difference between an upstroke of the pick to a hammer-on, like little nuances and techniques and all sorts of stuff just can bring so much flavor to your playing. And, I mean, no one can play like Jimmy Page. No one can. No one can. There's just some kind of mystical, like, I don't know, god, rock guitar god. But yeah, it's you pick up what you can and yeah, it's definitely had influence over the writing for the new record as well. Not gonna lie.
Mm. For sure. And I guess if we go right back, I mean, I became a fan in 2015 with Love Army, which just changed my world, and Dirt Buzz, which just turned 9 a couple of days ago as well.
Oh, what?
Changed my world forever. For
Oh,
to see and hear such an immense talent in yourself, and seeing you live was probably the biggest catalyst to all of that. And that was in a tiny bar in Hobart, going back to 2016 or 17.
no shit. Where
Shit, I can't think of the name of the venue. I've been trying to think of it.
Republic Bar?
No,
Oh
it
no.
wasn't the public bar. It was just down the road on the other side.
Oh, I okay. So that was when Mona Foma was on,
Yeah.
and yes, oh yes, that venue doesn't exist anymore.
No, no, it doesn't. So
Yeah. Crazy. I
crazy
want to
stuff.
say that night was like a core memory. We had the craziest night in Hobart that night. One to, yeah, like all time. What a festival.
Absolutely, what a crazy festival! And if you look sort of just over my shoulder, you'll see
Ah, there's Dirt Buzz.
Dirt Buzz, which you guys signed for me on that night. So
Oh,
that's where
that's
I
so
got to know JJ as
cool.
well, and yeah. So
I love that.
coming of a full circle, there's also a poster there which is sitting in the I've got to find room for pile,
Which
which
one?
happened
Which
that
poster
night
do
as
you have
well.
there?
Sorry,
Which poster do you have there?
I think it's actually the gig poster somewhere. So it's the actual gig
Okay.
poster from the venue. It's sitting in my rolled up stuff that needs to be framed and go up. So
Yeah, we've all got that part. We've all got that
oh, don't we ever? Don't we ever? So and from there, I've seen you quite a few times over the years. But I must say that the one thing that resonates, and for everybody that I've introduced you to, is, as you said, singing has always come naturally to you and come pretty easily to you. Your voice is the first thing that grabs people and just sets people back, and that's an incredible thing. And that's also why I'm super excited to hear what you do with these Zeppelin tunes. As you said, nobody sings like Robert Plant, but if there's a person on the face of the earth that I think can do an incredible interpretation, uh, is you. And I'm so excited to hear what you can do with these songs.
I think that, thank you, Andrew. It's the wind in the sails I need for the rehearsal this afternoon. I do really appreciate that. It's interesting. I've, you know, I've looked at so many reinterpretations of these just in absolute interest, what other people are doing and even when things like No Quarter and where there's reimaginations of the songs, but going to say there's a few songs that I am playing in the set that I've never seen anyone anyone do.
Oh
Maybe they're
wow!
not. Maybe they're they're not stupid enough to to attempt it. But it is going to be really special, and I have pushed myself beyond what I thought I was capable of, and I think I hope I inspire some other people to get out there. I feel like there's a really nice little movement of musicians that we haven't seen for a long time playing around in the scenes and that are starting to come back, and it's really cool, man. Like we want to get this scene back up and to where it was, and like people like yourself are a big part of that. The support that you give all of us is should be noted as well, Andrew.
For sure. Thank you. And you know, we've touched on your voice, and to talk about your guitar playing, I think seeing you on the big stage during the Red Hot Summer shows and the ZZ Top arena shows, you really do stand your own ground as a guitar player. That was the biggest takeaway that I took from those shows, was just what a powerhouse player you are. And even the Melbourne Guitar Show set that you did was another immense highlight. I guess the shift from when I first fell in love with you was that you were playing in a band, and some of that playing got absorbed, I guess, by the other members. But seeing you out there doing your own thing on your own really is an eye opener. Obviously, there was a break between Dirt Buzz and the last record.
Mm.
Was that so that you could work on your playing and being a solo performer?
Look, I think a lot of things happen. I feel like a lot of bands go through cycles. Some don't recognize those cycles. It's with anything. It's with anything in life, and I think particularly the year we released Dirt Buzz, it was fucking crazy. Like we did two back-to-back massive European tours. Then we did two Australian tours. And it was just like we were untangled. I felt untangled. It was we pushed ourselves, and I was on a European tour bus, the only female on that tour bus, and it was before 2018. So there's just some wild stuff that will be in the book later on in life. But it was wild, and I think for all of us, we just needed a little bit of a rest to go, fuck, what is happening, what's going on? And we love it. We're adrenaline junkies, and I think one of the things that I wanted to do that felt purposeful was giving back. And so like I've run a lot of mentoring programs, and I spent a lot of time out in the desert over like the last 10 years. I'm a regional kid, and I guess I got to the point where, I made lots of mistakes, as we all do, like getting out there and playing music and finding your way and all those kind of things. And then I guess for me, it would have been nice to have a mentor or someone to kind of like help guide. So I stepped into that space a fair bit. It felt quite purposeful. And then when COVID hit, I was like, well, fuck, I might get a degree. I might go and study. So I ended up going to uni and got a grad certificate in songwriting and music marketing, and took a really deep dive into all of that. And then by the time that sort of came out, I was like, okay, all right, I feel like I'm actually going to regret my life if I don't step into this space with the guitar. I just don't want to get to 60 and go, girl, you just needed to put some fucking hard work in. And, I think there's been fear around it. Not, like I guess growing up, the girls will always go, no, you just sing. Don't worry about it. You just sing. So I believed in that. I believed in that for a really long time, but I don't anymore, Andrew. So I've so I've put in a lot of work. I've put in and I love it. It's like, I think I was thinking I used to think, imagine what, the thing that brave looked like was confident and all of those things. But in fact, brave is standing in your fear when you're fucking terrified, or you're sitting in these cringe moments of not being good enough. That's what bravery is. So I've definitely had a few brave moments putting this this Led Zeppelin show together. And on the other side of cringe is some really rad shit, It's some really rad shit. You got to walk through all of those things. And I really I think maybe the thing that I've realized out of all of this is that maybe the purpose is conquering fear around all of these things. And I think when you're trying to achieve any kind of thing that's relevant and purposeful to you, then maybe that's the same thing. But yeah, it's starting to feel good now.
Fantastic. That's
Yeah.
that's that's incredible. Now, if we can, just before we finish up, were Led Zeppelin the band that got you into music?
Um, definitely one of the bands. I had a few like friends of mum and dad's and a few parents of good friend mates that I went to high school with that were always like, ramming it down the throat, like, oh, you should check this out. And I had this one DVD. Oh no, sorry, VHS like tapes. What am I talking about? VHS tape, and I wore that thin. Like Jimmy Page does this big bow solo, and there's like, there's all this imagery in it, and these mythical kind of creatures. And I loved the myth around Led Zeppelin, and I loved the branding, and I loved that it was thought provoking. It was like art, it's such amazing art. And it was scary. It was fucking scary, that music. I mean, I see you react then. Did you feel the same?
Yeah, I did, and I'm just throwing back to that the VHS that you're probably referring to, which was the
Yeah.
song Remains the Same.
That's it. That's it.
So, and I was just reflecting back to that, and I thought, how damn powerful was that when I first saw it as well. So, yeah, I get exactly what you're saying, and there was that mythology and mystique and sort of almost spirituality to the band.
100%.
Uh,
Yeah.
and I mean, I didn't get Zeppelin until probably a little later in life, till I was probably my late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
But when I dove in, I dove right in.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're an incredible band, and it's so amazing to see that you're doing this. And when you first announced this in April, I mean, I got goosebumps just thinking about the
Oh,
prospect of you doing this. So we've jumped on board and we bought tickets even before we knew that this interview was going to happen, because it
oh,
was one of those
thanks,
must-see shows.
Andrew.
And it's all about giving back to you guys as well. We sometimes get a little bit of a free ride, or as it's perceived, a free ride in the media, but it's all about supporting.
Well, I do appreciate that. And I will say though, like you guys are a big part of amplifying our voices. So I don't think you're getting a free ride at all. You've always got tickets to my shows.
But yeah, no, I have had a conversation with another artist who's establishing themselves, and I said, look, once you've got a proper line of merch and you've got an album out, then you can start throwing me on the guest list. But until then, I'm not interested. I'm paying, and because
Ah,
this is how you create, this is how you live, and this is how you start.
yeah.
And that's something that I'm very proud of personally. That I'm able to support. People like yourself and have done for years.
Well, you're a fucking legend.
Thank you
That's what
so
you are.
much. Super kind words. Thanks, Alice. Now, obviously, this is an East Coast run. You're a South Australian born and bred girl.
Yeah.
Will South Australia and Western Australia ever get to see an extension of these shows?
Not at this stage. I feel like I've got some really cool shit rumbling, which I'll announce sort of, I guess, later in October. I can't say anything though, but it's not this. It's
Right.
not this. Yeah. I mean, I really wanted to, but I did want to keep it small and yeah, there was a window to do this. I didn't want it to be a large, you know, I just didn't want it to be big. I wanted it to be a small few little shows. Not this time.
Mm.
I know I've actually had a lot of messages online about it, but sorry, WA, sorry, South Australia. Next time.
Next time, absolutely. Well, look, Dallas, thank you so much for your time, and certainly taking time out of rehearsal and studio time. I understand how precious that is to you guys as artists. But I'd like to thank you again for your time
Oh
and
man.
for spending 20 minutes with us here at the Rockpit. And I really do look forward to this tour. The Dallas Frasca Plays Led Zeppelin tour is one not to be missed. And I know that tickets are selling like hotcakes, so
Yeah,
it's
the
a
I feel like
no-brainer.
I will sell out. It's going to sell out. Yeah.
It will, it will. So for anybody listening and watching, please jump on board and support this incredible talent that is Dallas Frasca.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, Dallas. We'll see you soon, darling.
Wonderful. All right, take care.
You
Thank you so
too.
much. Okay,
Thanks.
bye.
Bye.